Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pavilion Gardens in Buxton. We're here for our sale, which is on Wednesday the 24th of July. Today's viewing day on the Tuesday. We want to take you around some of the cars that we've got available for sale. We're here in the Octagon, famous for housing musicians such as the Beatles over the years, for example, and many other different performance acts. We've been here for 30 years now as our first venue, and we want to show you what we've got this time. It's a little bit special, this auction. So right here, we've got what is our fast road performance section, if you like, inside. So there's some great examples of cars in here, more on the modern side of things, or from the 1980s at least. Starting off with the BMW Z3M Coupe. We've got a beautiful Bentley Continental GTC with only 36,000 miles on the clock and a great colour combination, very reasonably estimated. This is one of 4 UK press cars of the Audi UR Quattro 20 valves. It's been subject to a meticulous restoration where the vendor had to buy 2 donor Audi coupes just to be able to source the parts for it. And now it's available here for sale at a very reasonable estimate. So if you fancy looking like Gene Hunt, fire up the Quattro. Next, my colleague James has consigned this fabulous 911 996 GT3, a genuine appreciating asset these days. This car has had relatively limited use. We can't find anything on the internet about it being tracked or anything like that. So it's a really good example, genuinely usable car and a great appreciating classic. Moving on, we've got a little bit from our Japanese cousins over the pond. So this is a Datsun 240Z. Basically what we should have done in the British car industry when we replaced the Jaguar E-Type. A great example, again consigned by my colleague James McWilliam. We're over the other side of the Octagon now, and I wanted to show you this fabulous Jaguar XK150 3.4 litre drop head coupe. It's coming as part of a collection consigned by my colleague James McWilliam again. The gentleman who owned them is absolutely fastidious about restoration. It's had an awful lot spent on it, a lot more than the estimate will make you believe. It should be one of the best examples out there today. I'm sure you'd enjoy it if you owned it. So walking around here, I'm going to show you, we've got something a little bit more of a reasonably priced British sports car, the Triumph TR6, great for going and doing European tours, 6-cylinder engine, and something that might need a little bit of work. So this is a 1967 Aston Martin DB6. As you can see, there's not much of it at the moment. That's because most of the spares are tucked away in the corner. It's been subject to having a complete new front and rear platform. All of the steelwork's been done. It's now time for the new owner to essentially decide what they want to do with it. So it's a great basis for going and deciding on a colour, going and deciding on your interior colour. It's an original ZF 5-speed car and originally a British registered car, and it still shows on HPI. So it's good news. A little bit further on, and again, probably competing with the Audi Quattro that we've got for rally space, is this Vauxhall Chevette rally car. So, absolutely fantastic, looks period. We've got some great videos of this running and doing its thing. Should be a great amount of fun for anybody who fancies going and doing a bit of classic rallying. And competing with things that are a little bit more known, like the Escorts, really. It's a bit different. So, my colleague Paul has been looking after this really nice MGR V8, very low mileage from new. Car was originally from Japan and basically got hardly used. It's done 2,400 kilometres from new. So it's basically a brand new MGR V8, ready for a new owner and a one-off opportunity to go and buy one in that condition. Obviously we always like something from our Italian cousins, so we've got a relatively modern Ferrari, but it's a Ferrari 550 Maranello. My colleague James has consigned this again from the same chap who had the 996 GT3 Porsche. It's a great appreciating Ferrari. They're really coming into vogue at the moment. This one needs probably a little bit tidying up around the edges, but a great project for somebody and should be great fun out on the road. Okay, moving a little bit older now. We've obviously got our pre-war and vintage section, with some great cars like this Lagonda. and a beautiful Austin 7 Nippy evocation. But what I wanted to show you really is this 1947 Alvis TA14 shooting brake. As you can see, she's a woody body. The coach builder, who I have to remind myself who it was, is Reeve and Kenning, who were based in Chesterfield at the time. Again, this came from the collection that my colleague James consigned, which had the XK150 and a few cars that I'll show you later. The condition is utterly superb. It's bonkers that somebody spent this much money on a car like this. All the doors shut beautifully, the interior's gorgeous, the paintwork is utterly gleaming. A car that would be really interesting at something like the Goodwood Revival, or alternatively, use it for what it's meant for. Go shooting. I bet it'd be great fun and a great alternative to a Range Rover. So the star lot for the Buxton sale is this fabulous 1967 Mercedes 250 SL Pagoda. Right-hand drive production of the 250 SL was only circa 500 cars over the course of production before they moved on to the 280 SL. This particular car was previously owned by the famous motorcycle speedway rider Taffy Owens. The car was bought by the vendor in 1974 and has been subject to a meticulous restoration, which has cost far more than the guide price would suggest again. And it's only covered 300 miles since then, to the point that the suspension hasn't even settled yet. If you fancy what is essentially a brand new 250 SL, I don't think you're going to find a better one, and especially not at this money as well. As promised, here's the rest of the Aston Martin DB6 project that we wanted to show you. So it includes the complete matching numbers engine, which has had all the machining work done, including the cylinder head. This is not all of the parts, by the way. We have another van load of it, but these are the more presentable things and the rarer parts that we wanted to show you. So if you do fancy having a go, please feel free to get in touch, give us a phone call. I'll go through a video with you to show you everything that's here. Consigned by my colleague Damien, as I'm sure you've all heard and you're all very excited about, this is all part of the David Lucas collection. It's a collection of 31 different cars, all of them in varying states of repair currently, most of them completely non-runners and need recommissioning, but an absolutely incredible selection of some really rare, mainly British cars that you just won't find anywhere else. To be honest, I've been most excited about this myself. Well, we're known for our variety at H&H and having something for everybody. We've got everything from a massive great big Ford 5000 tractor, which the vendors used to take his grandkids around his field at home on his small holding, through to an absolutely immaculate Land Rover Series 3. Going American, we've got a great Ford F350 pickup truck. I love it. Absolutely out there, sounds fantastic, big diesel. And then we've also got quite a few decent modern performance cars as well. So your Jaguar XKs, supercharged, naturally aspirated. There really is something for everybody in the sale. If you move down here, we always like to frame tents with a nice pair of Bentleys. So we've got an Arnage, an interesting turbo. And moving into our long marquee, this is where we tend to have convertibles for obvious reasons, try and keep the rain off. Got lovely MGBs, gorgeous Triumph GC6, a 911 at very reasonable money, which I'm sure will be snapped straight up. Again, something American, fantastic Corvette, and even a really early Mini, Mark 1. Of the Morris variety, which has its nice original Fleck interior. Which again is very sensibly guided, so it should attract a lot of interest to it. But probably the star for me, because I've never seen one in person, is this Ogle SX1000. For a start, it's very yellow. But what a rare thing. You can see where they've really taken the Mini platform and made it into a complete 60s racing machine. It's got the fabulous bucket seats in there, and this is apparently the only car that was supplied with electric windows. It's received a lot of attention in the press and is something really unusual for all you mini collectors out there, or anybody who fancies going to any of the racing events and prepping it. It'd be really fun to have. And being front wheel drive, it will stick to the ground like the proverbial. It's been one of our busiest viewing days we've ever had here at the Pavilion Gardens. The sun's shining, everybody's out and enjoying themselves and looking at pretty much everything that we've got here in the sale. Tomorrow, for the auction day, we open our doors at 9 AM for viewing, and the auction will start at 1 o'clock. Do remember that you can bid either in person, and we hope to see you if you do. You can bid via the telephone, or you can bid online. If you would like to bid via the telephone, make sure that you get in, have a look at our website, find the telephone bidding registration form, and we'll make sure you're registered. So we're here at the Pavilion Gardens, and we hope to see you all tomorrow.